Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Vanessa, your host. This will be a little get to know me episode and a sneak peek into what tranquil living is all about. So let's get into it. I recently celebrated my 37th birthday here a couple weeks ago. It's kind of hard to believe that I'm 37 because, to be real, I feel 10 years younger. Like I'm actually 27. They say after having kids, time really does fly by, and it does. I had a great birthday here with my cute little family. I can't believe this is my fifth birthday that I spent here in Uruguay. But it was great. We went out for a nice tapas dinner in Montevideo to celebrate. It was delicious, and I enjoyed my margaritas with it. So I was pretty happy. Perspective is everything. So let me just give you a little bit of background about me. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised. And although I love New Orleans very much, the food, the culture, the music festivals, everything's amazing. I did live through Hurricane Katrina my senior year of high school. And that really is the prime reason I knew I never wanted to go back or live in New Orleans after college. Just seeing with my own eyes, people losing everything, people that I knew, um, and just the pure destruction around the city of what a natural disaster can do was just traumatizing. At 17, I moved to Florida for college, and I went to the best college ever, Florida State University. Go Noles! And I never really looked back. After college, I got my first professional job working for the Department of Defense in Washington, D.C. And after 5 years in DC, I transferred offices to America's finest city, the beautiful San Diego, California. And I lived there for 5 years. San Diego has a really special place in my heart because it is where I met my husband, where we got married, and also where my daughter was born. And now it's been almost 5 years since I've lived in Uruguay. Historically, I've been hitting that 5 year mark of living in a city and then moving on. But not this time. We are here to stay in Uruguay. Ever since I was little, I knew I was destined to live abroad. I knew it would be a Spanish speaking country because I grew up speaking Spanish, but I just didn't know where exactly. As a kid, I grew up spending summers in Panama, where my mom is from, and was always an avid traveler, spending the majority of my 20s taking at least 1 to 2 trips abroad every year. As a family, we had a short 6 month stint living in Spain before coming to Uruguay, but we eventually settled in Uruguay, which is a true hidden gem south of the equator. I honestly feel so grateful and #blessed to be here. Through the living abroad trials and triumphs we've had since moving here, it's truly become our safe haven and our happy place. The best way to describe it, I would say, is that it has been just a really nice, pure, and wholesome experience living in a slower paced lifestyle compared to how it was when we were living in the US. When we made the decision to move to Uruguay, we literally went all in. We jumped into the deep end and never looked back. We immediately bought property here, and that property is a 10-acre farm next to a gorgeous vineyard on the outskirts of Montevideo. It's literally everything more than I could have ever dreamed of. I'm literally closer to nature than I've ever been in my entire life. The space is so nice to have when you have a large property. I mean, the daily, you know, niceties of chirping birds, the vegetation, the vines from the vineyard, the cows across the street and literally in my backyard. The fact that I can't see or hear my neighbors at all from my home is truly nice. It's a peaceful paradise for us. I went from having zero animals living in the US to having basically 12. On our property, we have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 8 chickens that actually lay eggs, and we eat their eggs. It's delicious. The pets are fun and they keep our life interesting. I never had a pet growing up besides, goldfish. I had one at my school fair. So it's been amazing to experience it now as an adult and then to see the joy of having these animals through my kids' eyes. It's really special. We were strategic in where we chose to live in Uruguay. The country life is amazing. I love it, but I'm also a city girl too at heart. So I commute 35 minutes to Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay, daily. And that's basically for school drop off and pickup. I personally think Montevideo is great for being a capital city of Uruguay. It's on the smaller side of what you would typically know to be a capital city. And it's not overwhelming. I mean, besides crazy ass drivers on the road, it's easy to maneuver around the city in a car. It's a coastal city, so for example, walks on the Rambla are just absolutely beautiful. Ever since living in San Diego, I knew I always had to live close to water after that, no matter where it was. So, why do we move to Uruguay? Well, after having a kid, we realized the American dream was turning into more of an American nightmare. Yes, we were living in beautiful San Diego. Yes, we had great jobs. Yes, we made good money. But at that point in our lives, the future meant having to continue the never ending rat race of life. If we wanted to buy a home in California, we were looking at $800,000 for a regular 3 bedroom, 2 bath home with a small yard. Guys, that's almost $1 million. It's insane. So, when we made our decision for Uruguay, we had an opportunity come our way, and we took the chance to move abroad in search of a better life for our family and to have a tranquil life. I know living abroad is not for everyone. Obviously, a lot depends on your family values, understanding what's important to you, and the lifestyle you truly want to live. There are pros and cons, just like every other situation in life. You give one thing up, but gain another. Ultimately, it's all about how good the gains are for you personally. So at this point in my life, and being a wife, a mom, and raising a bilingual family, I feel like our situation couldn't get any better. My husband works remote, and moving here gave me the opportunity to become a stay at home mom and raise my kid, which was just amazing. So, how do I feel about turning 37 in Uruguay? I feel really good actually. Uruguay's home now. At this point, it's hard to picture myself anywhere else, to be honest. I think in the end, what I find really neat about living abroad is that it's a constant learning process. It never feels stagnant. I'm continuously learning how to better adapt, how to better communicate in the Rio Platense Spanish dialect, and how to integrate more into the Uruguayan lifestyle. I'm American born and raised, which I'm so grateful for, but in the end, we chose to move here. We see the beauty of this country, we appreciate the lifestyles and values of the Uruguayans, and we want to integrate as much as possible. I look at it like this: these challenges have made me smarter, mentally stronger, and more confident than what I was before moving here. My goal of Tranquil Living Uruguay is to be your passport to Uruguay, to provide as much value as possible for those curious about this country, a place I call a hidden gem south of the equator. Whether you're traveling through or if you're an aspiring expat, I'll be sharing real life lived experiences from my perspective, the perspective of an American Latina millennial expat just swiping and mothering abroad. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more of this type of content, please like, subscribe, send in your comments and any questions about Uruguay. I read them all and I will answer them. Cheers.